Hello YouTube, how you guys doing today? I'm just cruising around at the moment. I apologize if it's really windy. I'm on the highway. I don't know if this helps at all, but probably can't keep my hand in front of the camera. But I'm just cruising around today, and later today I am going to be taking apart my bike a little bit to prepare some of the parts for some upgrades that we're doing. But I figured if I'm going to be out of a bike for a week or so, that I would get out and record some stuff and talk to you guys a bit. So it is now June, which is apparently Men's Mental Health Awareness, which I guess is near and dear to me, being a man myself and also having mental health, even though to some people in some generations that is not real. So I figured I'd talk to you guys about a couple things, I guess not. But one of the big things that people ask me about is music. And so this is more, I guess, of a music talk than it is like a mental health talk. But my mental health is greatly improved by music, influenced by music in general. And it still, to this day, blows my mind that there are people out there, mainly people like on Omegle that I've talked to. I'm like, oh, what kind of music do you listen to? They're like, I don't really listen to music. What? Who doesn't listen to music? The second I get up, there's already a song in my head that I need to listen to get out of my system. I just don't understand. What do you do with all the silence? You just have a healthy mindset and you just let the demons talk to themselves? Like, I don't understand it. So anyways, I guess I'll talk to you guys about my writing process. People want to know how I write songs. Some people write songs with an idea first. Some people write it with a song name first and kind of like go from there. I guess all of my songs are kind of different, but for the most part, most of the songs start with some sort of concept. The thought process when I'm making a song is, what do I want the listener to feel or understand? Or if it's for someone specifically, what do I want them to take away from the song that they're hearing? Whether it's good or bad. Typically my songs are not really lighthearted in terms of like, being happy songs. I don't write a lot of them. So a lot of them are like, what message do I want to drive into someone's brain, whether it's sad or angry or whatnot. Some of them start with concepts, like the Funerals EP started with a concept of like death, and then from there I thought of like, oh, it'd be cool if I did his and hers, and from there kind of like, okay, what would his funeral be? And the thought process behind that, if you guys haven't already dissected it for yourself, is that his funeral, you guys need a muffler? His funeral is kind of like, for me, it's an ugly inside thought. Maybe you guys have had it, and if you have, this is a safe space which you can admit to yourself and to me in the comments, whatever, that you've had this thought maybe. It's that, who would give a shit if I died? And at the time I was going through a really bad breakup, and my ugly thoughts were like, if I was to die and we're arguing about this dumb shit, like, this is going to be your last memory of me. What are you going to feel like if I die? Are you going to be happy? Are you going to be relieved? Are you going to feel guilty that, our last interaction was not so healthy? Are you going to cry about it on Twitter so people are like, oh my God, I feel so bad for you? So that was kind of the thought process behind that. And the hers, again, I'm sorry if it's really windy. I hope you guys can still hear me and don't mind the wind too much. I'll try to get off the highway in a second, but the thought process behind hers was kind of like I wrote it in a way that people were like, oh my God, he lost someone near and dear to him, like they died. And I wrote the whole thing as if she had died, and then at the end of the song, it's like, I know that you're not dead, I know that you're still out there, but it's easier for me mentally to kill you off in my head, because this person was my entire universe, and now we just don't know each other. We're just complete strangers to each other. You're living your day to day, I know nothing about it, and vice versa. And it was really hard for me to process that. So in my head I was like, okay, well, I'll just kill you off, because it's easier to pretend that you're not in my life because you're not in anyone's life, you're passed away, than it is for me to process we just exist in our own little worlds and just never speak again. It's really dramatic, and it was more for a dramatic flair than it was like actual, like, I can't process this. But at the time, that was the concept. That was like the message that I was trying to drive forward. A lot of my songs start with concepts like that, or what is the message that I want to get across? Some of the songs start with song titles, and they're just like clever little one-liners, I guess, or like clever puns for a song. Like me and Do said something about melody, and then we said melody's nuts, and we're like, oh, we got to write a song and then make it kind of goofy and write it like that. So there are songs that have started with a title. I think Chuggy Finster started that way, and then I kind of worked backwards from there. But most of them start with an idea of like, what do I want to make this person feel? So a lot of that is, once I gather that concept together, then I work on one-liners throughout the day. A lot of it doesn't necessarily make sense or rhyme with anything. It's just like Green Tea, for example. If you guys have listened to Green Tea, or there's a line in the song, it used to be picture perfect, now you're just out of focus. And because I'm a big photography nerd, that was like really clever to me. So I just write it down as a one-liner, and then I try to write stuff around it that still fits the song, still fits the message. Used to love you to death, now you're just dead to me. They're just literally, I have notes upon notes upon notes that are just clever one-liners. Well, clever to me. I don't know about to you guys, if you think you're clever or stupid or whatever. But like, you know when you listen to a song and you're showing it to someone else and you're like, oh, this part right here, this line right here, that's kind of where I go, is I want one hard-hitting line that people can take away. Something that someone can like put on a shirt or get tattooed or something like that. Does that make any sense? Maybe not. So I like to try to write for that as well. At least have one hard-hitting line that sticks with people. I also... Sorry, it's just testing out my falsetto. Definitely not panicking because the brakes I see in front of me. So I also try to write very catchy hooks, which according to Do, who knows a lot about music theory, and I know fucking absolutely jack shit, despite not knowing a damn thing about music theory, I have a knack for writing very catchy melodies, especially in my choruses. So we're good. I want stuff that'll get stuck in your head, and without having knowledge of music theory, I'm able to do it. So for anyone out there that is discouraged about writing music, writing guitar, for one, I know nothing about music theory. Absolutely fuck all. And on top of that, I also cannot read music. Everything that I know for guitar and ukulele, I learned through tabs and chords. I do not know how to read music. You could hold a gun to my head, and I couldn't even tell you what strings are on a guitar. I know low E and high E, that's it. I do not know. I know there's, what is it? Mnemonic devices, phonetic devices, something like that. Nuclear devices, something that there's every boy eats good fudge or some dumb shit like that. PEMDAS, I don't know. But I don't, off the top of my head, I just don't know. I just don't know music. I don't know notes. I just feel everything, which sounds like so earthy and hippie and like kind of cheesy, but I really don't. I have not taken the time to learn music theory. I just know what I feel and know what I want it to sound like, and I just kind of go from there. And that kind of goes with screaming as well. I know I'm yapping a lot. This was supposed to be about mental health. I know very little about screaming. I started out screaming, like whisper screaming, when I was like in high school, to like fucking a day to remember, like disrespect yours, like that kind of just whisper screaming to myself. And that is what I built the foundation of my screaming off of. I took one singular vocal lessons with Cardivox Academy to kind of, see what he thought about my voice and kind of see what I could build on. And in that one lesson, he taught me a lot about breathing and technique and stuff like that, and how to project a little bit. So screaming is also fucking huge for my mental and for like writing music. I've always kind of written like very soft music, so kind of being able to write heavier stuff and just fucking, I don't know, man. Fry screaming, if you don't care about metal, I'm so sorry that you have to listen to this. Fry screaming is something that I feel like, and again, correct me if I'm wrong if you guys are experts, I feel like it's a lot more, I don't want to say delicate, but like precise and like calculated distortion. Whereas false feels a lot more violent and explosive and just like powerful. Not to say that Fry screaming can't be powerful, whatever, but I feel a huge difference when I do false chord. When I do Fry, I can sit at my desk fucking slouched in the chair and just bust that shit out all day, no problem. But false chord, I'm like fully fucking stanced up like a fucking demon, like shouting that shit out. And it makes me feel so powerful, and it helps me relieve my fucking anger. There's a clip somewhere of me doing the breakdown for Plotting You, Forgotten. I'll put the clip up right now.
I spent my life chasing things that have only brought me pain. At the end, when I'm dead, hope it was for something.
And in that clip, man, I just felt so, I was able to just get everything out. I would do screaming on the bike, but I've tried, and this tiny mic is literally in my fucking mouth. So it's kind of not good on your ears if I do that. Anyways, I know I'm yapping a lot, but basically, that's kind of the process for my writing of music. I like concepts a lot. I have a concept for a funeral's continuation. I won't tell you guys all about it right now, but one of the concepts behind, because I want to do his and hers again, but instead of funerals, I want it to be like eulogies. So I'm kind of like up on the podium saying like, we're remembering a person, blah, blah, blah. And I want it to be kind of like the death of myself, because I feel like I've lost myself a lot over the past couple years, and I want to write kind of like in respects to myself, because I have always had trouble seeing myself clearly. I don't know if you guys have struggled with that. And writing a song talking about, like, reflecting on how I've been over the last few years and how I can look back and see when I was so motivated, when I was doing well on social media and cranking out music and content and just fucking killing it, and felt a lot better about myself. And I can see that change. I'm getting back, I'm getting better and improving and learning a lot more about myself right now, but I can look back and see how much of that part of me died. And I thought about like writing a song to myself about myself. If you guys listen to it and you enjoy it, cool. And maybe you guys can relate to it, but I want to pose it as like kind of a eulogy kind of thing. It's sad, bittersweet, whatever, but I like concepts, If you guys have any other questions, in the comments about a song, like what's the background behind it. I also really like clever Easter eggs or like hidden messages, hidden lines that like kind of hit. And one of those, don't tell anyone I told you this, but Imaginarium is one of the first like real good songs that I wrote. The album art for that is actually a kaleidoscoped image of me and the girl that the song is written about. No one would ever know that or have any reason to know that, but I thought it was so clever to just hide that. I don't even know if she still knows. But anyways, I thought it was so clever because it's right there in your face. And the people that know. And the people that don't, it's like, oh, cool, pretty picture. But to me, it's like, I got one over. That's stupid. It's very stupid, but like, in my head, I'm like, cool, even though I'm not. There's bikes there. So anyways, that's kind of my rambling about music. I hope you gathered literally any sort of helpful information from anything that I've said, though I highly doubt it. But yeah, music has completely, I don't know what people do when they're not listening to music. I don't know what the fuck I would do without music. Like, for me, writing a song, especially when it's like emotion driven, is like is a way to move past something. Because as you guys may know, talking about the shit that you're going through tends to help. So writing a tangible thing that's like, this is how I felt in this moment, and getting everything out that you want to say and all that fucking emotion and all that trauma into just a tangible thing that you can, someone asks what you're feeling, what you're going through, you're like, here, listen to this, and also get my fucking Spotify plays up. But it's like, it's a perfect way for me to, it's like journaling. For if you guys journal or write stuff down that you're going through, it helps so much to just get that out of your system. And for me, it's like, bam, there's that chapter, and now I can move on past it. Which is why moving on from shit the past couple of years has been so rough, because I have not had that creative outlet. I've had my creative outlet just kind of stomped and smothered, and I have not been able to process things the way that I want to. And I'm getting slowly back into that creative space, and it is amazing for my mental health. And I'm going to keep on doing it and keep on putting out work. And at the end of the day, if one person listens to it and they don't give a fuck, you know, cool. I write the songs, especially the ones that are about my shit that I'm going through. I write the songs for me. I appreciate you guys listening to it, but they're literally for me. And if I write something that helps me process shit and it helps you guys feel the same, like, if you've ever shared a song with someone and you're like, hey, this is relatable to me, and you're able to pass that song on to someone else, and you can do that with one of my songs, like, then cool, mission accomplished. It is for me, but if it helps people in the process, then, you know, I win. I don't care if I have fucking 1 Spotify listener, 2 Spotify listeners, fucking 10 million, whatever. If I'm helping one fucking person out there, I know it sounds cheesy, but like, truly, if I can do something that helps me just fucking for me, and it benefits you guys literally at all, then I'm as grateful as I can be. So I really do appreciate you guys listening to the music, and hopefully it has helped someone out there. I know there are people that have messaged me saying, like, your song really helped me through this. I've had people say, like, I was gonna kill myself, and then I heard this song and it saved me. So I'll get more into mental health stuff in the next video. But seriously, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for sticking with me, listening to the random shit that I talk about, and listening to the music that I pour my fucking heart and soul into. I'm getting all emotional. But I appreciate you guys more than you will ever know. So thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next video. Stay on the dark side.
It takes two to